right, hi everybody. David Fogel back with you, CEO of the Symphonina Foundation, back with another Symphonina Foundation podcast. And I'm back from London. I flew in last night. Was helping out at Abbey Road with the London Philharmonic Orchestra, recording on a project. It's great to be home, though. It was great to be there, I'll say that. Good to be home, though. And today we're joined by violin virtuoso Bernadett Nyári. Bernadett, how are you?
Hey, David, it's so good to be here again one more time. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And, thank you. You're one of the violinists that we have on our International Symphonina Orchestra this year, coming up for our album that we'll release in July. The title's still to be determined. Maybe it'll be determined this week. We have to get on it. But we have some good ideas. We haven't coalesced around a complete idea yet. But you performed on Chris Prather's Symphonina No. 1. We greatly appreciate it. You did fantastic. And thank you again.
Thank you. It was my pleasure to be part of it. It's beautiful music.
Thank you. Bernadett, how did you get so good at the violin?
I come from musician family. Everybody is musician. So when I was 6 years old, I had to choose an instrument and I chose the violin. But of course, when I realized that you have to practice.
You do.
Well, yeah, well, yes, that was the time when I realized that I don't like it and I don't want to do that. So I never really practiced and I didn't want to be a violinist anymore. I wanted to be everything but a violinist. But then, I was only practicing, I remember 10 minutes twice a week before my violin lessons. And it wasn't enough. But
no,
then
I was going to say, that's not that much.
Yeah. It wasn't. But, just to keep it as a hobby, it was perfect,
Yeah.
But then when I was 13 years old, I went to Italy with my elementary school. They had a choir and they asked me to play the violin. And then that time I did. And the audience loved it so much. They were, cheering with all this passionate Italian style that I remember I was on stage. I looked around and I said, I want to become a violinist now.
Yeah.
So that was the moment when I decided, and that was the moment that I actually started to practice after 8 years of non-practicing.
Okay, so your 10 minutes every other day went to 10 hours every day after that.
Almost.
I bet, yeah, right. Now, you grew up in Budapest, right?
Yes, I did. I am from Budapest, from Hungary, and I grew up there, yes, with my family. Everyone is still there, actually.
Okay, and when did you come to America?
I used to come here for concert and for traveling around the world actually since 2009.
Okay.
I think my first time in the US was in 2009. Yes, I believe. No, 2010, 2009, it's something like that, yeah. And Miami, but I moved here in 2020. And now, almost 1.5 years, I am American citizen,
Yeah,
which I'm very, very
congratulations.
proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's a special moment. So yes. So now this is my home also.
That's great. Well, you moved here right during COVID then.
Oh yes, I did. Actually, I moved here 1 month before COVID. I moved here like in
crazy.
January, February, and then COVID hit. And then this was a disaster because, I don't have to tell you, in our business, this was a dead end, and for me it was worst because in Europe I was very busy working, also in Hungary, and here nobody knew me. So here basically, I just wanted to start a new life, and build something from the ground. But during COVID, this was basically impossible. So it was very, very difficult.
What did you do?
Thank God, my husband, boyfriend that time, he was still working, so that's how, we could live somehow.
Yeah.
And the first few months, actually, I did nothing. I was home, and cooking and just take care of the house. And then I remember that I had like panic attacks, and I never had that in my life. I am not that kind of person. I always, like I travel alone the world. I was in Africa by myself. I was in dangerous places by myself in the middle of the night, and I never was scared from anything. And then I remember I went to the grocery store and I had a panic attack next to the milk, and then now it sounds ridiculous. And even that time I was telling to myself, like, are you crazy? Like, what is wrong with you,
Yeah.
And then I actually realized, I remember I talked to a therapist back then, and I remember I realized that my life that time, for many other people as well, I wasn't the only one, but for my life that time completely fell apart because my life for the last, I would say, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, I was performing non-stop. I was performing at least twice a week, if not three times a week, on big stages with 2,000 people in front of
Yeah,
me,
that's a lot.
traveling from, yeah, traveling from country to country. And then you know how is it when you are on stage, you have all this adrenaline and everything,
Yep.
and then you get back a lot from the audience. This is not only what you give. We drink the energy from the audience.
Yep.
And then this was keeping me alive, and this was keeping me up here for years, for again at least 10 years. And then all of a sudden, nothing. And not for 1 week or 2 weeks. It was fun for 1, 2 weeks, to just relax and do
Sure.
anything I want.
Sure.
But after a few months, I started to be like, oh my God, like, where am I now? Who am I? And then I remember the therapist actually made the point that the only thing which stayed still with me, who didn't change and what didn't change, it's the violin.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else changed. And I also was in a different continent. I mean, I was here in Miami, completely in a new place. So yeah, I remember I started to practice at home just to get back at least some feeling,
Yeah.
some of me. That's how it started. And then, slowly, slowly, Florida wasn't that strict than some other
That's true.
state,
That worked to your
you know.
advantage. Yeah.
Yes, and also we live in a very nice gated community
Okay.
where you could go for a walk anytime,
Yeah.
and just a huge area, to just go for a walk, and you are still not technically on the street.
Right. Yes.
So so yeah, so it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but here we are. I learned a lot from that
Yeah.
situation.
And now you're doing concerts again.
Yes, I
You have a
do.
big concert series this whole year, actually, right? Strings for Change. Tell us about it.
Yes, okay, so this is something very special actually, and I'm very excited to tell you about. So, 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, I visited an orphanage here in Miami, children's home for foster kids, basically. The name of the children's home is His House Children's Home. I visited, I played some music. It was a very, very difficult experience and beautiful at the same time because I faced with so many stories, which I am lucky, I have great parents and I grew up, with a normal environment.
Yep.
And I wouldn't imagine in my wildest dream situations which actually happened and happening still to many kids like that. So I visited this home. I met with some children. I actually met. They are separated by age groups. So I
Okay.
also met with young teenagers, like between 13 to 17 years old, who most of them were pregnant or they already had a toddler.
Wow. Okay.
And the reason is very simple because Florida is, I think, is the biggest state for human trafficking
Mm.
and sex trafficking. So these girls, these kids are basically all victims of all
Yep.
this.
Yep.
So, I have a 3 years old. So I remember when I was there visiting them, I had a few months old at that time, my son was a few months old. And me, that I have a loving husband and I have a hardworking husband and I still also work and I have a career, it's still not easy
Mm-hmm.
to raise a baby or to raise a child. So these girls, when I talk to them and I just saw them, these girls, they they don't come from a background like I do. And to raise a child, they already have difficulties just on their own.
Right.
So anyway, so this is, I mean, I could talk about this for hours. So, but anyway, I visited this children's home. It left me with so much emotions. And I remember when I left, I decided that I want to do something. I always believe that music is healing. And I actually remember because I played some music for them, and most of the time when I do concerts, people tell me that they love when I speak on stage because it's very motivational, and I always tell them some stories from my childhood, and it's very motivational. So, but when I played to them a little bit, I was like, I mean, I cannot really motivate them with the same stories which I normally motivate, let's say, on stage, just to a general audience,
For
because what
sure.
they come from, they never even had the chance to play music.
Right.
So it's very difficult. So anyway, it was a little bit uncomfortable, but my point is that after talking to them, and after playing a little bit, some of them who didn't even look at me started to turn the head and look. Another one started to sing. The other one looked up. The fourth one started to dance. Obviously, I started to play songs which they might know from a TV show or from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so when I left, I actually this already was a proof that you can change people's feeling with music. So I decided that I would like to do something special. It took me a few years. I mean, I always knew what I wanted, but it took me a few years to finally say that yes, here we are and we are doing it. But now I can tell you, David, that yes, here we are doing it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a concert, and it's going to be an annual concert. And my goal is to make this as an annual tradition, Miami's tradition.
Okay.
But as an artist, my goals are usually going up to the sky. So maybe it's not even going to be
That's not high.
Miami.
That's not high enough, Bernadette.
Oh, really? So maybe now we're starting Miami's tradition, but maybe very soon it's going to become
There
the
you
entire
go.
US
There,
tradition in every
there you go.
states. So there is no limit. And but to tell you about the concert, this is going to be a holiday concert in
Mm-hmm.
December, Christmas slash Hanukkah. It's a full production, so it's not only just like a violin concert. It's much more than that. We are going to have several Grammy winner and Grammy nominated artists performing.
Nice.
We have a live band, 7 to 10 piece band. We are going to have a children choir. Uh, really, you name it. It's going to be a big Christmas holiday production show. Let's put it that way. It's going to be in Miami in a very nice, beautiful, historic, intimate theater. It's
Mm-hmm.
about 450 seats for
Okay.
the inaugural year.
Uh-huh.
And our goal is to cover all the expenses from all the sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
and then all the ticket sales can go to the children's
Yeah,
home.
perfect. There you go.
So yes, so this is the plan. And other than that, because of course money is great and money helps, but that's I feel that it's not enough and there is more which we can do. And my idea is that around September, October, I'm already visiting the children's home pretty often. In fact, I'm going tomorrow as well. But I around October, I will going to the school to the children's home every week,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna prepare together for the concert.
There you go.
We're gonna learn
Nice.
the songs together. We're gonna have a whole preparation, for the concert, for the
Mm-hmm.
entire feeling, because I remember from childhood that Christmas was always beautiful, but the preparation already the December, 2 3 weeks before Christmas, that was always wonderful, with the music, with I don't know, in Hungary there was snow.
Right.
So with the snow, with the mulled wine, with even just the smell of the cinnamon and
Mm-hmm.
all this, it's just a different feeling. And these kids, many of them, they never even see a Christmas tree before.
Mm.
And it's very sad to say, but unfortunately, during the holiday, the children's home receive more children than
Mm.
throughout the year. And the
Mm.
simple reason is because most of these parents just want to spend the money on alcohol and drugs instead of
Yeah, it's so sad.
gifts. So they just dump the kids off. And this is not okay, you know. And the kids only can stay there until they are 18 years old.
Right.
They have to leave the home when they are 18. And and that's why it's there is so many things we can help with. And my idea is also to bring the kids out from the environment they are in and give them some hope and some chance for something they don't know at all. Maybe one of them gonna say, wow, I actually have good voice, I want to sing. Or wow, I love the violin. I want to play the violin. Maybe I will be a violinist. Or I don't know, I love the theater. I really like how the lights are going left and right. I want to work in that. But these kids don't even have the idea or options to even have these kind of dreams because they live somewhere where it's very complicated, but this is a beautiful project, Strings for Change. And again, as I said, this is going to be the inaugural year, and just we're gonna be growing and growing. And you are all invited. And David, I would especially love you to be here.
I appreciate that.
It would be beautiful.
We'll see what we can do. And I hope, like you said, not only is it an annual event, but hopefully it grows beyond Miami and spreads wherever it's needed, wherever that might be.
I would love that. I would truly love that.
Besides that, which is already enough for any one person, you're also working on a summer release and maybe an album for next year. Tell us about that too.
Yes, my grandfather was an incredible violinist and composer, and his biggest dream was to come to the United States. But unfortunately, he never made it because of the political situation back in Hungary.
Right.
He traveled the world, but when he went to pick up his passport in the office, he looked up and he said that he believes in God, and they took his passport away. They deleted all
Wow.
his contracts abroad, and they canceled all his radio recordings. So he never made it here. Already that time, when I decided that I want to be a violinist, and I knew about this story, I decided that I would love to come and play his music in the United States. And this was the reason why I moved here. So I did already concert in Carnegie Hall playing his music, but only with a trio, like violin, piano, and bass.
Mm-hmm.
His music usually was written for Hungarian folk orchestra, which I would say 5 to 7 piece band, maybe.
Okay.
But it was never arranged and never played with symphony orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big dream of me to play his music in the US with a symphony
Yeah.
orchestra. I think this is the dream which he wouldn't even dare dreaming of back then.
Yeah.
And actually, I did one of his most famous song, Fire Dance. I played 1 month ago
Mm-hmm.
in Connecticut
Mm-hmm.
with a symphony orchestra, which was the first time ever, and it was a wonderful feeling. And now we are just finished the arrangement actually yesterday for the other song. I would say this is the most difficult song he has.
Okay.
If you want to show that you know how to play the violin, this is the song to this is the song to play.
Or maybe
It
you show
also
that
has
you don't know how to play it. If I were trying, you know.
yes, also, also,
Yeah.
also,
Okay.
also, of course, it's a beautiful melody. It's a really, really beautiful melody, but also it's pretty hard. And what I actually like about it, that it has many different technique and different music and different style in the same song. So the song starts with a very slow part, but all chords on the violin, and then it stops, and then it becomes a fast tempo, which also obviously you have to have a good technique. But then at the end of the fast tempo, there is a beautiful melody, like a real, like I would say is one of the most beautiful melody I ever heard, like a really, really nice one, like a film music.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's go back to the fast part a little bit. So it's definitely not boring, and it's very, very, it has like some variety. Yeah, we are recording it. I'm working with the Venezuelan Symphony Orchestra and with Raniero Palm, who is a multiple Grammy winner,
Yes.
producer and conductor. I am very excited actually to work with them in this project.
Wonderful.
Also, because from Venezuela, this is Hungarian music.
Mm-hmm.
It has the Hungarian, it's classical, but it has the Hungarian touch to it, the Hungarian passion. It's very interesting. You will hear actually, you will understand when the song starts in the very beginning, you actually cannot decide if this is in 3/4 or
Hmm.
this is in 5/8.
Wow. Okay.
And it could be both, and it could be neither of them. So and this is also like a very interesting style of, let's say, Balkan or Hungarian music. And to play this with great musicians from Venezuela,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna give also an extra touch to it. So I'm very excited to do that. And this year we're gonna release this song,
Mm-hmm.
and then next year the entire album, all my grandfather's songs, we're gonna put into one album,
Okay.
and also with the Venezuelan Symphony Orchestra, we will do the whole album for next year.
Do you have a title for the album?
You know what? Not yet. Just like how you said in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning,
Yeah.
that I have ideas, but most probably, I really like when I did the Carnegie Hall concert, the name was The Untold Melodies.
Okay.
because these melodies were never taught by my grandfather, and especially not with symphony orchestra. So I really like that name. So most probably I would go with that, but I am still thinking of other options too. First, I feel that I have to practice to actually be able to record. The name is my least problem.
Yeah. I got you. Hey, Bernadette, do you give violin lessons locally at all? Do you teach anybody?
I actually do. I actually do. In fact, I'm also going there tomorrow. Yes, I
Oh,
do. And actually, these little girls, they're gonna also play with me on the concert in December for
nice.
String
Okay.
for Change. I will also include some kids. It's very interesting because, to be honest, teaching is not my how to say this. It's not my main focus. Let's
Sure.
put it this way.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think I am a true performer. That's what I am, and that's what I was born for. Kids, especially younger kids, like small kids, like, like these girls, like 5, 6, 7 years old girls, you have to have a lot of patience to teach those
Hmm.
age. And not only that, sometimes I feel that it's a very dangerous job because, and I am very, very serious about that, because if you mess up, if you don't teach right the basic things, really, really just how to hold the bow, you know, then you can mess up their life. And I know it sounds like, if somebody is not, like my husband is not a musician, if he would listen to what I say now, he sure mess up their life. But yes, you are. If you want to be a professional musician, it can ruin your life if you don't know how to hold the bow correctly. I still have technical issues since my childhood. I still do. But my problem is, because I only practiced 10 minutes for 8 years,
Hmm.
it's still, I can still see it. I really have to many times concentrate. So these are important things, to think about. So I would really prefer actually to teach older, like university or high school musicians. That's like my more like my area. But I also teach kids. Yes, I just have to be very careful what I am teaching.
Well, they're lucky to have you, Bernadette. As are we. If people want to get in touch with you, Bernadette, what's the best way to do that?
So my name is Bernadette, and there is
Mm,
no E at the end.
that's true.
So yes, it's just only Bernadette with double T at the end. And Instagram and Facebook is just Bernadette Violin, and the website Bernadette Official. But if you start to look for Strings for Change, then you will also found me, because there is also the website now, stringsforchange.org.
Nice.
And then basically you're gonna find everything right there. And I really hope that whoever is in Miami or in the area gonna come and support these kids for the
I
concert.
hope so too. Bernadette, we're going to listen to some more of your great playing on the way out. Thank you again for your time today, and thank you for being part of our International Symphonina Orchestra for 2026. We greatly appreciate it. We appreciate you. And if there's anything we can do with the Symphonina Foundation to be of help to you, just let us know.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much.